Look at this. Pelosi says bill upholding parents' rights in children's education gender identity is threat to trans kids.
Wow. Okay.
This woman used to be the Speaker of the House. And she actually says this. You see, guys, they want your kids to be property of the state.
We're seeing a lot of this with schools. There are teachers that are literally coming out saying they believe that the parents don't have the best interest of their own children in mind. And there are teachers that have come out and said they believe most parents are not qualified to raise a child and determine a child's direction in education. Can you imagine that a teacher would ever come out and say something like that? That's where we are. They're wanting to take your children from you. They just want those children to be able to come home and sleep and go back to school so they continue their brainwashing. They're wanting to take parents' rights away when it comes to their children. This is going to be a slippery slope. People need to fully be aware of what's happening when it comes to this agenda right here.
Do you know what's going to happen? Do you know what's going to happen if there is a cultural Marxist takeover? You know what's going to happen? The parents, if they don't go out there and transition their kids, guess what? The Marxist state will take away your child and do it themselves. Because this is the Marxist mindset right here.
Well, I'll take it even a step further. I believe they'll get to a point that if the parent doesn't want to do it, they will try to hang the parent with a child abuse rap and even explore things like criminal charges against a parent if they decide to not go down this road, because the Democrats believe this is child abuse to not allow a kid to transition into whatever gender identity they feel like. Well, hell, do you know how many kids want to be a damn giraffe when they're 4 years old, or they want to be a cowboy, or they want to be a, that's, kids go through phases, and parents are going to lose their children over what used to be considered just a normal, for example, if it's a girl, a tomboy phase. Well, they're going through a tomboy phase. Yep. There is going to be a lot of women when they're in their 20s and 30s that look up and go, what happened? I was a girl, and now I'm a guy just because I went through a tomboy phase when I was 10 years old. I'm telling you, that's going to happen. There's already people that have transitioned that are trying to detransition back.
Yeah.
And then when they try to speak out on it, the media is trying to squash that, and politicians are trying to squash that. They don't want that out there, that there are people that have transitioned that fully and completely regret doing it, and they're pissed off that their parents didn't have their back, because I also believe that this is an agenda and a badge of honor for some of these leftist parents to have a trans child.
Yeah.
I truly believe that.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. But we got the video here of Nancy Pelosi, so let's go ahead and play it.
Are threats on the horizon. And again, there are even more threats that address or targeting the children. Just this week, yesterday, Friday, the extreme Republican majority in the House passed a bill that would force schools to out children to their families. And for kids in less accepting households, that could put their safety and well-being at risk. But that was passed by the House of Representatives. How could it be? It won't become law. The president will never sign it, won't pass the Senate. But nonetheless,
Of course, Biden's not going to pass it. But that's not the point. But anyway, let's listen to it.
they all voted for it. Sadly, this push at the federal level comes as the state legislatures have considered over 300 anti-LGBTQ plus bills in the last year, with trans children increasingly under threat. In Texas, it is considered child abuse for parents to get their children the gender-affirming health care that they need.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. They use that phrase right there. Gender affirming care. No, sex change. You should not be doing that to children.
Yeah.
Nancy Pelosi.
It's frightening that she considers the other way around to be child abuse.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Everything that just spilled out of her mouth is ludicrous. It's dangerous.
Yes.
It's frightening that somebody would even begin to think in this way. That we're literally, people are playing with the literal sex of their children. Now, I mean, how is that not child abuse in itself? That is the example, the shining light that should be shined up on the wall and shown to everybody on a massive projector that every citizen in America could see. This is child abuse. What they're wanting to do is child abuse. And they're trying to turn this the other way around. I don't know how this ends up. I really don't. This way of thinking, that is some poisonous devil bullshit right there.
That really pissed me off. She went out to Texas. This is my home state.
Yeah.
This stuff should be illegal. You should throw the parents in jail if they do this to those kids. But let's go ahead.
That's a crime. They can be prosecuted, and so could those who provide that health care. In our family, we are so proud of my niece, Skylar, who transitioned with pride, dignity, and courage. She has always told me that she and others are so encouraged to hear public figures speak with respect for the trans community. We are told that the path to expanding respect for our trans families and friends is to show our love for our trans kids and family members and the rest. So that we declare to our children, we see you, we stand with you, we love you, and we will never rest until you enjoy the love and safety you deserve. That is our message to our trans.
Okay. Now, Rhodes, I'm going to ask you this question here.
Yeah.
If this whole trans kids thing, or just trans thing in general, is the way the left says it is, why are you only seeing this on one side of the political aisle? Most of all these quote unquote transitions are on the left.
It's their voting base.
Bingo.
They're
It's
playing to their
propaganda
voting
that
base.
They are pushing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why don't you see conservative families actually having trans kids?
They're trying to normalize child abuse is what's happening right now. In front of us, you are watching the normalizing of child abuse. It's absurd that somebody could stand on stage, have these words come out of their mouth, and them not go, what am I talking about right now? This is crazy as hell. Look, I highlighted a comment multiple times. Somebody better start bringing back some insane asylums because some folks need to be put in straitjackets. I'm just keeping it honest. I mean, it's time. Some folks need to be put in straitjackets. Some parents, look, there's obviously some parents out there that we're talking about what's best for children. Look, I'm sorry, but under no circumstances are you going to convince me that you should be playing God
Yes.
with your children, and which is what you're trying to do. And that's part of the problem. These damn people are godless.
Yeah.
They're godless.
And another thing I noticed too, the left is not pushing this on adults. They're pushing it on children.
Yeah.
They're not pushing it on adults. It's the children that they're going after. And the only kids that are quote unquote transitioning are from left wing families for the most part.
That's right.
This is an agenda. This is not normal. It's not normal, because if it was truly like normal, like you were gay, for example, there's gay people on the right and the left. You know, when it comes to that, probably pretty balanced right there. But when it comes to this whole trans thing, it is one side of the political aisle where kids are quote unquote transitioning, and it's because activists and left wing parents are pushing this on their children. No doubt about it.
It's also, by the way, future voters for all of these.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, let's be honest. Just like the flood of people coming in across the border is all future voters on one side of the aisle. Make no mistake, right? They want to try to get power, maintain power, keep power. And have you noticed how much all this revolves around children?
Yeah.
And young people, children and young people. We talked about it yesterday with the universities. We're talking about it with schools. It's starting there. They're trying to reconstruct how this country was built. And they're trying to disintegrate the morals and values in which this country was founded on. They're trying to use every excuse known to man. Oh, it's racist, it's sexist, it's blah blah blah. It's some kind of ist or ism attached to however this country was created. My personal feeling on that part is truly, look, you're in the United States. If you don't want to align with the ideas that this country was founded on where you live, then get the fuck out of here.
Leave.
Get the fuck out, okay? Goodbye. See ya. Peace. Don't let the door hit you in the ass, okay? You don't live in some messed up country where they got these go create your own country. I don't care what you do. But this is where you live, all right? This is where you live. This is what this country believes. Why should it change? Exactly. Why should it change? Because this is why this country has prospered in the manner that it has, and has flourished and has grown in the manner that it has. And they're wanting to turn it into some kind of morally bankrupt third world shithole is what's happening right now in front of our very, very faces.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know how this gets resolved. It goes back to we're not agreeing with this.
We and you cannot negotiate on this stuff.
There's
no middle ground on this.
No. I think we've given too much anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. We've given too much anyway already.
Yeah, you cannot negotiate.
You cracked the door for the devil.
Right.
You've cracked the door for the devil to come walking in. I mean, I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
His little minions are already doing their bidding right now. And you're seeing it. And you can't tell me, because Nancy Pelosi in her age bracket, you can't tell me that when her and that nutty ass husband of hers get behind closed doors, they don't go, this shit is crazy. You can't tell me that.
Yeah.
I know your age group. Y'all think this is crazier than hell, but you're going out there and doing it because of voters.
I'm
plain and simple.
the majority of those Democrat politicians believe this stuff is crazy, but they have to go out there because if they just one step off that plantation, they're done. And they know that because they will not go against the machine publicly. They're not going to do it. We talked about Joe Biden. Joe Biden 15 years ago was not down with all this stuff.
No.
But the messaging now, he cannot step away from that now. Because that's the left's message. Barack Obama, they weren't down. First term, Barack Obama wasn't down with this stuff. Barack Obama was into this stuff in his second term. Why? Because publicly he knew he was not going to win re-election pushing this stuff. Now it's going to be interesting to see, since we know Joe Biden is pushing this stuff, how is this actually going to play out in 2024 for him? Because he is pushing all of this stuff. He's went super duper left. And if people go out there and cast their vote for Joe Biden, boy, we're in trouble. We're in trouble.
Manny Lamont in the chat, once you go to the dark side, forever will it dominate your destiny.
Yep.